just want to start off by saying thank you very much. Thank you for your time, your attendance. And thanks, Peter, for having Dolly Varden and myself. Before I get into the presentation, I've been running the company for 2 years. I started February 16th, 2020. What I inherited at Dolly Varden at the time was a company that had a $20 million market cap. The company had 44 million ounces of high-grade silver in the ground, and there was about $3 million in the bank. The company didn't particularly trade well, and it was trading at an enterprise value per ounce of half its peer group. The reason I took over the company is I've been working with junior mining companies for the past 18 years, and through my experience, as Peter pointed out in his presentation, silver outperforms gold. So I thought we were coming to a time in the cycle where silver, it was time to get some silver exposure. So let's fast forward 2 years. What have we as a team at Dolly Varden accomplished over those past 2 years? Our market cap has grown 10x. We've gone from a $20 million company to a $200 million company. We've got about $15 million in the treasury today. We're about to close an additional $13 million financing, putting us in a really strong cash position. Our liquidity's up, and this is all based on our mineral inventory growing. So we've, through discovery and through acquisition, we now have 140 million ounces of silver equivalent in the ground. So I'm really proud of these accomplishments, but I think we're just getting started. Okay, so I will be making some forward-looking statements. This slide here shows you this 15-kilometer trend in the Golden Triangle. What our team has done is we've unified this trend, which shows you the Dolly Varden ground at the bottom of the page, 44 million ounces of high-grade silver amongst 4 deposits. And then at the northern end, we've got a gold project with a silver credit. So it's a total of 140 million ounces of silver equivalent. There's been past historic production on the property. So about 20 million ounces of silver was produced at about 500 grams per ton. We've got a strong board of directors, senior experience from companies like Hecla, but we've got a really good skills and experience matrix of engineers, geologists, capital markets professionals, and we've got a strong history of taking junior mining companies, selling them to larger companies, and very, very significant track record, great advisory team, and just a solid team. In terms of share structure, I can get on a phone with 7 shareholders that represent about 85% of the company. So we have 2 corporate shareholders. One is Fury, the other is Hecla. Precious metals institutions make up about 35% of the ownership. Eric Sprott owns approximately 10%. After we close this financing, our shares outstanding will be 230 million. We're trading at around 86 cents a share, so it gives us about a $200 million valuation. None of this is possible without social license, and so we are a founding member of the BC Regional Mining Alliance. It's a partnership between the BC government, First Nations groups, in our case it's the Nisga'a Nation, and we work closely with Nisga'a, providing employment opportunities and looking for ways for the company to enhance the local communities. So we've got a strong resource base, but really this is a company that's about the blue sky potential and discovery potential of extending and expanding known resources. And really, I get incoming phone calls and emails from investors and analysts all the time, and this is a unique story in that we've put together a tremendous amount of ounces and grade, and it's quite rare, not only in Western Canada, but really anywhere in North America. This is the only project in North America with this size of endowment at this grade of endowment. So it's a very unique opportunity, and for precious metals investors who are looking for exposure to both silver and gold, at this grade, this is the only choice in North America. So location, and this was a big benefit during the pandemic in 2020, 2021, where we didn't miss a beat. We can drive from this location to the project in 16 hours. You can fly to Terrace in an hour and a half or drive to the project in 3 hours. Access is great. It's very close. The Golden Triangle has seen almost $5 billion in M&A transactions just in the last 3 years alone. This has been led by Newcrest. They're the world's third largest gold producer in the world. They have ambitions to be number one. This is one of 5 areas they're very keen on. In addition to Newcrest, you've got Newmont, Teck. So in the northern part of the triangle, you have copper gold projects. You've got the operating Red Chris mine. In the center of the triangle, you've got KSM Brucejack. If I drew a 20-kilometer circle around those 2 projects, it's the richest metal endowment on the planet. And if you think about this from the context of how inaccessible this area has been up until recent years, and you think about the amount of metals that have already been discovered, it gives me a lot of inspiration and hope for future discoveries. We're at the southern end of the Golden Triangle that has seen the least amount of exploration. So in addition to the 3 majors I mentioned, you also have companies like Hecla, like Yamana, that have made significant investments. And this is really board mandated by these larger organizations. They're looking for safe jurisdictions ounces. If you look at silver production, 30% of the world's silver comes from pure silver mines. And most of those mines are in Chile, Argentina, Mexico, and Peru. The value and the premium that we're going to get at Dolly Varden for the location of this deposit is really going to come across in the coming years, and it's already coming across today. This slide dictates that we're in the same rock type of the big mines in the area. So Eskay Creek, I won't go too deep into the geology, but something really special occurs between when the Hazelton and the Stahini come together, when the Triassic Age and the Jurassic Age comes together, you get these huge deposits at huge grades, and we're set in those same conditions. So this is a zoom in on our particular part. It's a sub-basin of the Golden Triangle. So in addition to Hecla being a shareholder, they just put $5.3 million into the company about 2 weeks ago. In addition to them owning 10% of the company, they've got a large concession to the east of us, and they've previously made a hostile takeover attempt of the company. I view a lot of junior mining companies that have no royalties, companies that have no production, they're orphans. And so unless you're going to build or develop yourself, M&A is a big part of success stories for companies. And I think because we have that competitive tension, it makes this a unique story. So this slide demonstrates tremendous infrastructure. We can barge material up to Alice Arm. There's a road that goes right to the property. We can tie into some of the lowest power in the planet on a kilowatt power basis with BC Hydro. You can't see it. It's a little bit to the side here, but Highway 37 cuts right over. So just tremendous infrastructure. We've got 7 deposits. We have another 100 occurrences. This shows you that we're into that prospective geology, and there's a lot of room to grow. Okay, so this is a mag chart. Now listen, this recent acquisition we made, it just closed about a week or so ago. There was a border between these 7 deposits. That border has now been lifted. Those big mag anomalies in the middle of the property that we have not yet identified deposits, that's where the opportunity lies. So we're in the right rocks. We've got mag anomalies. This is a soil grid we ran, and we've got gold in yellow. We've got silver in gray. So we're in the right rocks. We've got the mag. We've got the soils. And now looking at the deposit, so this is tremendous. Like you look at a lot of projects in the Golden Triangle, they're on the sides of mountains, tough topography. Not the case at Dolly Varden. We are in a valley. This is the big opportunity here, the 5.5 kilometers. So listen, if you're an investor, you're going to buy a junior mining stock, and gold is going to move up or silver is going to move up. Your stock's going to do nothing. And it's only the ones that actually have ounces in the ground or that have production, those are the companies that are going to appreciate and perform the best throughout the cycle. So what I've identified here, these are the 7 deposits. These are drill holes through the deposits. We've only drilled 3 holes north of our Wolf deposit. So it's open. This is a long section showing you zonation. silver and gold and yellow, silver in silver. Again, lots of opportunity, not only in the 5 kilometers in between the two projects, but also within our existing silver lenses. I'm trying to go fast here because there's a lot of information to get through. We've got some great vectoring tools to find more silver. Every year we're putting out big discoveries. We have not updated our 43-101 resource estimate for 2 years. So my plan here with this $25 million treasury is I'm going to go out, we're going to drill these projects really hard. These red lines identify drill holes we drilled in 2021. These are some of the results. We're constantly adding more high-grade silver over mineable widths. These are wide ore bodies, they're high-grade ore bodies, they go to surface. In the case of our biggest deposit, we've got 7 kilometers of underground workings. This is a past producer, and so it's got tremendous access. This is a hit here at the Wolf project. It's a 94-meter step out, and again, 1,500 grams over 1.2 meters. But what's more interesting is that it was part of a broader interval. This is our resource estimate, 44 million ounces, around 300 grams per ton. I'll go real quick here because I know I'm a minute over time. Homestake Ridge here, and this is the new acquisition. This property hasn't been drilled in a few years. It's open at depth. It's already got 1 million ounces of gold and 19 million ounces of silver. And my strategy is, it's predominantly an inferred resource. As we infill drill it and move categories, move that inferred to indicated, we'll also test these down plunge opportunities where I'm hoping to add more mineralization. This is the resource at Homestake. Let's jump right to the combined resource. So 1 million ounces of gold, 63 million ounces of silver at grade. The gold's at around 5 grams per ton. The silver's at around 300 grams per ton. On a combined basis, it's 137 million ounces of silver equivalent or 1.8 million ounces of gold equivalent. In this location, in the Golden Triangle, this size of deposit at these grades will be bought out by a major. We now have the market cap where we can move it forward and develop it ourselves. We also have targets where we could potentially double this resource. We've got the team, we've got the expertise, we've done this before. It's a unique opportunity. This stock has performed really well. Even in a falling market, in a sideways market, in 2020, I raised about $27 million for a $20 million market cap company. I did that accretively. I did that starting at 30 cents, 45 cents, 71 cents, and then at $1. In 2021, we had no dilution. We didn't have to raise money. What we did is when the market pulled back, we made an acquisition, an accretive acquisition. And now that the markets have come, the financing windows are open again, we're just announced a $10 million financing at $1.02. It's the highest we've ever raised before. It's at the best valuation. And now we're in a position where we could advance, de-risk, and grow this company. So like I said, don't look at it in terms of this company was at 24 cents and now it's at 84 cents. You missed it. Look in the neighborhood at companies like Skeena Resources. Look at SK Mining. Look at Brucejack. Look at Red Chris. These are projects that go from 10, 20, $30 million market caps to billion-dollar market caps. And now we've got the cash, the shareholders, and the team to advance. So I appreciate it. I'm sorry for going a little bit over, but there's a lot of information to get through. Thank you for your time.